Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to our Vegan Cooking 101 series. Tonight is night 3 and it's all about oats. Tonight we're going to be making some no-bake peanut butter cookies. So that's one of my, well, I say one of my favorite recipes, but you know, it just depends on the week. I like food in general, but anyway. If you're just tuning in for the first time, my name is Janessa Botticelli. I am the writer and amateur kitchen chemist behind Uh-Oh, It's Vegan. It's a blog online. You can find that at ahoitsvegan.com. And I would love to thank the Kingsport Seventh-day Adventist Church for hosting this whole series all the way to night 3 tonight. I always have so much fun doing it and meeting you all and having you all online as well. But before we get into anything else, I'm just going to say a quick opening prayer here. So if you'd please bow your heads with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for getting everyone here safely. Thank you for everyone who's tuning in at home. I pray that you would please help us to learn how to become healthier so that we can be more active and just go about your work spreading love and happiness in the world. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. So tonight we are going to be doing our recipe first again because, again, I have to wait for it to cool down a little bit. So let's make no-bake peanut butter cookies. Yeah! Okay, so let me get my gloves on here first. And these, if you were with us at the beginning of our series to make the oat patties, this is going to be, oh, I have a hole in my glove. Let me get another one. Right, if you were here at the beginning with the oat patties, this is going to be pretty similar the way that you make them. Instead of savory, it's just going to be a nice sweet treat though. So, let's go on. You can see the recipe here. The first thing I'm going to start with actually is I'm going to show you how to make your flax egg because that's going to have to sit for a little while. So I'm just going to take my flax seed right here, and you can see the brand if you like. It's ground flax seed already. You could buy whole flax seed if you want and grind it at home in like a coffee grinder or something like that. And I'm going to be making half a batch here tonight, so if you see the measurements, if you see me measuring out less, that's why. But I'm just going to say what it is up on the board for you so you don't get confused, all right? So 2 tablespoons of flax, ground flax. And then you guys in the audience, you keep an eye on me because I might double it by accident since I'm doing that. Yeah, just like earlier in the week. Okay. We don't want to let you know. Yeah, right. Thank you. Okay, and then we're going to measure out 2 tablespoons of water. Okay, and just add that to our ground flax. Then you just take your fork here and stir that all up in there. And they call it a flax egg because after 15 minutes that you'll see the consistency of this mixture right here is going to resemble an egg there, and it helps as a binder. It's, I guess, since you have the quick oats tonight, it's technically not required, but you know, flax is good for you, so I was just like, you know, why not make it tasty and as healthy as I can? So I was just like, let's add a little bit there. So we're going to set that off to the side. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to, oh, I actually, could you run and get some milk for me, please? I left the milk in the refrigerator so it'd stay good. So, yes, okay. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heating up milk and our sugar in this pot. I'm using beet sugar tonight, organic beet sugar, but you can use any type of sugar that you like. I also have used date paste as well. So I'm gonna do 1/3 of, or I'm telling you 2/3 of a cup. Okay, there we go. And when I came up with this recipe, I actually had been looking at a different no-bake recipe online for, this is 1/2 of a cup. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thank you for checking me. Yes. Right, when I was looking online, well, you know, I was browsing through Facebook, as you do, and I came across somebody else's no-bake peanut butter cookies, and that called for like 2 cups of sugar, and I was like, oh my goodness. So this one tonight definitely uses a lot less, and it still tastes just as, it tastes perfectly sweet to me, you know, like when you oversweet things, it kind of makes you feel sick. So this one's nice and balanced. All right, so we're gonna turn this on here. We're going to dissolve our sugar in our milk. And while we're waiting for that to heat up a little bit, I'm gonna turn that heat down a tad. There we go. So while we're waiting for that to heat up in the pan, I'm going to take my peanut butter and measure out a cup of peanut butter. Or, let's see. Yes, 3/4 of a cup of peanut butter. I like peanut butter. It would have been okay if it was a cup, but you know. All right. Here we are, 3/4 of a cup. And I really like this Pampered Chef measuring cup for gooey things like this because, well, you'll see when I fill up the cup because it just kind of slides it all out for you. So, little tool tip. Yeah, right. Should be selling Pampered Chef, but all right. Okay, there we go. And, you know, if you like peanut butter, you can always add a little more too. I don't know. Again, I already like peanut butter, so I went a little heavy on it. So it's up to you. All right. So our sugar's still there on the bottom. We're gonna wait a little bit longer for that. Let me see. All right. And what's next on our recipe list? I still need my guideline here. All right. So, actually we can add in the vanilla right now while we're waiting for this to dissolve because it's another liquid in there. So I'm gonna need 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon for you, 1/2 for me. And we have just enough left in this bottle. Perfect. All right. Add that in here to our pot. All right, and I can see that moving inside the pot there. Everything's mixing together. There we go. Very nice. All right. Next, I like to add in my chia seeds. So I'm gonna grab those here. You can see there are these little black seeds right here. That's what chia seeds look like. And I'll put in 2 tablespoons. And there, you can see in the pan it's starting to simmer now. That's perfect. And you'll want to be sure to stir regularly. On the stove, you'll probably want to put this on medium to medium-low heat. And just keep an eye on it because the sugar on the bottom does have a tendency to burn if you just let it sit there. So stirring it helps it to not do that. Okay. Great. So next is our flax egg, and I'm just going to stir this up a little bit. You can see how it started to thicken a bit there. So it's more of an egg-like consistency than just water and powder. Alright, so I'll put that right in there. Wonderful. Okay. And alright, and then it looks like the only thing left to do is to add our peanut butter. I'm just going to give that another quick stir before we add our peanut butter. Okay, now you can see why I like this. Just go whoop, right out like that. See, then you just take your spatula and you can scrape it right off the bottom there. And you get all of it out of the cup. There we are. Just all three. Not sponsored, but you know, I wouldn't mind. Alright, so now what we're doing is we're just mixing in the peanut butter there. And we still have it on the medium heat. So we're just stirring continuously until it's mixed well. And it is going to get thicker here, more like a paste. Let's see. Well, you can use soy milk or you can use any other non-dairy milk that you want. Tonight I used oat milk. But you can see how it's gotten thicker there. Yep. So it's not watery. I have never used coconut milk for it. No, that would be interesting. So I'm going to turn this way down because it's already hot there. In fact, I'll put it on low instead, and then I'm going to measure out my oats. And let's see. Thank you. Oh, that's not oats, that's sugar. Okay, so 1 3/4 cups. Or it would be 3 1/2 for the regular recipe. 1 whole batch. Alright, give this one more stir here, and then we're going to pour in our oats. Alright, and even though it is thick, the oats are going to absorb the moisture that's in there, and they do actually cook in there as you do it. You can see, mixing it all in. So you make sure everything's all coated, that you get the corners in there. Don't want to miss out on anything. And there we go, we've got our cookie dough here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the top on this. I'm going to turn off my heat, and then I'm just going to let it sit there for a little while. And I'm going to let it cook. And while it's doing that, we're going to go over some other things that I've got prepared for you tonight. Alright. Yeah. Let me clean up this space a little bit. There we are. Okay. So, we went over already in the previous 2 classes what different things that oats were made of, some different minerals and vitamins and minerals, yep, that oats had in them, and what systems of the body that it affected. But what does that mean for some conditions that are common that our doctors might tell us about? So I found online these as well. So oats are rich in antioxidants. Antioxidants are really great to stop oxidation. And if you don't know what oxidation in your body is when you have chemicals from outside sources coming into your body and it disrupts the balance that's in there. So it unbalances your ions, right? Yes. And what the antioxidants do is they come in and they help your cells to not have that disruption so much. They help your cells to heal. So you might have also heard of antioxidants being in blueberries. They're known for being really, really high in it. So, but oats also have a bit in them as well. It's very rich. Then also, oats have been known to help reduce LDL cholesterol, which is that cholesterol that your doctor's always talking about that he wants you to try and get down because you'll have the buildup in your arteries there, right? So oats actually help to reduce the buildup of that plaque there in your veins. Next, it also helps to lower your blood sugar. Remember how we were talking about fiber the first night, how it has the soluble and the insoluble fiber? Well, that fiber also helps you to absorb your sugar more slowly so that you're not getting those sugar highs and those sugar lows all the time. It helps to balance you out more. Just like using date paste or any other fruit with the fruit sugar with the actual fruit itself will help to balance it out because it has more fiber in it as well. So, and then the last thing, people really like oats a lot, especially when they're trying to lose weight because it makes them feel full for a longer amount of time. So that's a little nice tip, especially for the summer. You know, we're trying to get nice for the beach or whatever vacation we're going on. So, so some nice little summer tip there. All right, so I'm just going to check these. Let me get my glove back on. I turn them inside out. I always forget. So it's like, oh no, what do I do now? All right.
For people who like chocolate,
yes.
You think you put chocolate chips in the
For people who like chocolate, yes, you could put chocolate chips in here, but you might need to wait for the dough to cool down a lot more than we are tonight for that. Right, just because they'll melt in there. But you could try putting cocoa powder in there instead, and that will give it a chocolatey flavor without it melting on you. But it'll be all throughout there. But yeah, I've actually thought of trying that out, but I haven't yet. So, okay. So, once you have your batter ready there, and we waited a little while. I don't know if you can tell very well, but the oats have expanded a little bit in there. You can tell they're not as uncooked, if you will. So they're nice and more gooey. You got some nice gooey cookies. So then all you would do next is you just take out about a heaping teaspoon of this. That's how I measure them. I kind of make them bite-sized so I can restrain myself. But yeah, but sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes I still have like 5, but you know, I won't judge you if you do the same. And then you'll just take them and then you just flatten them out there. And you can put them on parchment paper if you like. I usually do cover a cooling rack with a piece of parchment paper, and then I just lay them on top here. But I'm just going to use my cutting mat tonight for you guys so you can see. But yeah, it's really just that simple. Again, another nice treat. And you can, well actually, I went to a birthday party one time, and there was this 4-year-old boy there, and, or maybe he was 5. Well, either way, he was very young. And he tried these cookies and he really, really loved them. And he even asked if he could take some to the family reunion that he was going to go to, so that he could share them with his cousins. So you know these are really, really good. They're child approved even. So and his cousins really liked them too. His mom got back to me about that and said he loves them. We need the recipe. So yeah, these are a big hit for even family gatherings and everything. But you know, you can also have them even on hand for snack or breakfast because it does have the oats. It's going to help slow down that sugar in your bloodstream, or the sugar absorption into your bloodstream there. So yeah. All right. And I'm not going to make all of them. I'll just make those 4. You can see. Again, like the patties, I don't have a nice little tip. I guess you could use a small jar top if you really wanted them perfectly round. You could do the same thing as the patties that we did the first night. Yeah, or you can let your children make them. You could use cookie cutters even and still make them into a different shape. Hearts for Valentine's Day, or 4th of July is coming up. You can make stars. So yeah, all right. So we're just going to set that aside. And we'll move on to some other things that are going on here. Well, actually, let's look at my slides, because my slides are my boss, so they tell me what to do. Oh, it's Q&A time. All right. So if you are online and you have a question, please feel free to write in your question in the comments below. We have some people here looking for me, so they'll be your voice. I'll hear your questions and know you're there, or your comments. And yes, and anybody here in the audience too. Yes, Charlene.
Do the chia seeds also help to bind everything together?
Yes, the chia seeds also do help to bind everything together. That's why they're kind of used as an egg replacement, is because when it gets to that jelly-like consistency or egg-like consistency, it's helping that as the binder. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This seems to be a complete protein,
Okay. Yeah, it could be considered a complete food because it has a protein and carbs. Yep. Yep, and fat in the peanut butter. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, yeah, you could. Yeah, right. Eat a whole meal of them. And that's one of our doctors saying that here. So you know, no, I'm kidding.
that's what I do.
Oh yeah, you eat a whole meal of it. Yeah, no, as I said, that's why they're great for a snack too, and you don't have to worry as much if your kids want to have a few of them instead of just one. Only one cookie, you know. They'll be really excited. You'll get to treat them with more than that. And again, this is a really easy one that they can help make as well, because even if you're just introducing the stove to them, maybe this is a nice one because you're showing them you want to stir consistently, and then it doesn't take a lot of time to finish too till you get to the actual forming the cookie part, so they don't have to wait so long for something to cook. And then, you know, it's always fun to form the cookie. I remember when my mom was well, yes, Ron.
You can freeze them also after they cool off.
Oh, yeah? Have you tried freezing them before?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So Ron's actually made these cookies and frozen them before, and he says that they still are really good afterwards. So you could try that at home too.
I don't even wait for them to thaw out.
He doesn't even wait for them to thaw out. Just a nice cold treat, especially in the summertime. I'll have to try that. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I used, I used beet sugar tonight because, one, it sounded interesting and I wanted to try it out. And two, it's organic. It's better, organic beet sugar is better than the white processed sugar that you're going to find in the store. It's still processed, obviously, because you have to get it out of the beet and everything, but it's not so much. So yes, so it's better. You're welcome. But yeah, I've also used organic date sugar instead of the dates. What other thing you could use? You could try using palm sugar or coconut sugar. There's lots of different sweeteners that you could try. You could even try using agave syrup as well, even. So yes. Yeah, it would make it more juicy for the cocoa powder, right? Just balance it out a little bit there. That's right. Yes, chocolate is vegan. Yep. As long as it's not milk chocolate, you got it. Yep. That's why cocoa powder is in a lot of vegan recipes, because it's easier and less expensive than getting those chocolate chips at the store. At least I've found that anyway. So whenever something calls for chocolate, I usually try to, try to use cocoa powder. I have tried to make my own vegan chocolate at home, but that's in the works. It's very experimental. It came out a little funky, so yeah. So maybe next time. I do use carob, yes, here and there. I don't use it as much as I use cocoa powder, but we do have it for sure. What's that recipe that we make with it, though? Oh, okay. Yeah, we make some really good carob fudge at home. My mom has a great recipe for that. We haven't made that in a really long time. You saying that brought it to my attention. But yeah. Yeah, so you can, if you've never heard of carob, you can use carob just like cocoa powder. You can use the powdered carob like cocoa powder, or you can use carob chips like chocolate chips as well. And it tastes a little bit different, but it's very similar. Mm-hmm. All right. All right, we all good? Anybody online have any questions? All right. Okay. Well, thank you for commenting. I'm glad you're here. Hello. Hello, Stacy. Hi, Candace. Thank you for coming.
Smells good here.
Yeah, it sure does smell good here. It smells all peanut buttery. Okay. Well, again, I'm just going to mention these lovely stores that I go shopping at and who have been very supportive. We have the Savvy Shopper, and Julie, who runs it, I'm sorry. I got a little tongue-tied. I started like 3 sentences at once, and then I got tongue-tied. But anyway, it is a discount store run by Julie, and she is so nice and sweet. Even on my birthday, she stayed open just a few minutes longer so I could get some vegan ice cream from her store. She's like, okay, it's your birthday. So you know, she's super nice. And she also has been gracious enough to let us have our flyers out for these classes. So has the Natural Foods Market run by Jill. So we have Julie and Jill. And then Just Stuff, who is usually run by Robin and her mother. That's a secondhand store, so you don't find ingredients there, but you'll find things like furniture, and it's really in good condition. We've actually gotten some pieces of furniture there for our own home, actually several. And they also have some clothes and odds and ends there as well. So that's always a fun place to check out too. Then you've got the other local stores that I go shopping for the other ingredients. So the Asia market. So if you find an Asia market in your area, you could probably find things like coconut milk there and coconut cream and soy sauce. You might even be able to find your gluten-free soy sauce and things like that there. So those are the things that your Asia market's going to have. Or gluten-free noodles too. They have a very large variety of those as well. And there's still some that I want to try out. I want to try out some sweet potato glass noodles. So yeah, those sound really good. And then there's Spice World, which is more of a Indian-themed store. So they have, Spice World's in its name in itself, so it's got a lot of different spices. And if you find a similar store in your area too, I really encourage you to check out all the different things there. They also have things like tapioca pearls there, and let's see. Yep, they have produce there as well. Some produce that you might not find in your typical supermarket. Yes. And then, you have, McCoy's is another discount store. Then you have Ingles, Grocery Outlet, and Fresh Foods, where you can find some other gluten-free things that you might usually have trouble finding anywhere else. So, like pie crust. That's my go-to for pie crust right now, till I make a good recipe. Because my first gluten-free pie crust came out a little bit hard. So you see, I'm not a perfect cook either. In the kitchen, I'm still experimenting. And don't feel bad if something comes out wrong the first time. It's okay. You're just having fun. You can never add too much ketchup.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're fine.
The priceless.
Oh, you went to,
So you picked up some stuff, you'd be so happy about like vegetables and fruits in my car.
Okay. Well, see, David just went out and bought ingredients bought ingredients for the recipe right here.
So I called Jesse and I was, hey, do you need anything else? He's like, bring me my sample.
Yeah.
And I said, I've already promised Ron. He goes, Dad, did you bring me my sample?
And yes, we'll get Jesse his sample for sure. Yeah, can't go without that. And Hannah too, we'll get her one also. Hi guys, if you're watching at home, or the rerun, I don't know. Okay. Thank you, Robin. All right, so we actually have a new announcement tonight, something that we just set up. And it's a library box, and this was an idea that a group at our church came up with and put into action here. And basically the idea behind it is we've got, you can see, it kind of goes with our drive-through prayer as well. We've got little prayer request note cards there on the side, and you can fill those out and put it into the locked slot area there, so your requests are nice and private. And then also you can take a book or donate a book into our little box here as well. And we're just trying to share some inspiration, and it's a cool little book exchange thing. So I look forward to participating myself. So thank you everybody who spent the time to build the box and set up the pedestal for it and everything. It's really nice and heavy duty, and for thinking of the idea itself. So it's really awesome. The next thing is community service Tuesdays from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. and that's every Tuesday. We are right now doing some crochet for beginners, and you can see there even children can come and learn a little bit about how to crochet. And Charlene is an awesome teacher. She works great with all ages. And then we also are doing our weaving sleeping mats for the homeless. We're making mats out of your plastic bags from the supermarket there. And this actually helps out in a couple of ways. Not only does it give the homeless something to sleep on, but it also puts value on the shopping bags that you get from the store as well. And in my opinion, it could help clean up the streets too, because people aren't going to think about throwing them out as much, you know. So right, that's our project there. And then next is the Daniel 1 challenge. So this is coming up June 1st. And what the Daniel 1 challenge is basically we're going to try eating nothing but vegan food for 10 days. So if you haven't been sure about if going vegan is right for you, or if you just want to see how it would affect your body and see if it would be better for your health, then we're going to be putting a group together. I already have some people who are really excited about doing it. And we're going to be going vegan for 10 days. We're going to be sharing pictures and recipes, sharing what our experiences are, how we feel. Maybe, I don't know if you've lost any weight during it, you know, just how is the whole experience going for you? And, you know, it's fun to do those types of things in a group, especially when you're not sure, especially if you're a beginner, I guess, is what I want to say. So if you would like to join that, what you're going to do is you're going to go onto Facebook, and you're going to go to the search bar and type in, It's Vegan Cooking 101. And that's the group that you're going to want to join. Just click that join button on there, and I'll accept you into the group, and you'll be part of our team. Yes, yeah, exactly. David's down for it. Yeah. Do we get a name tag? I mean, that's an idea. I'll have to think about that. Right? Okay. All right. And we can see here there are the other events that I've mentioned in our previous classes as well. We have our drive-through prayer from 4:30 to 6:30 every Friday, and Ron and Manelli are awesome to do that. They'll always greet you with a smile and a listening ear. Let's see. And then we have Vespers going on May 29th and June 12th. We like to do some praise music. It was really nice to have the music last time. We had a group come in from Johnson City and play their guitars for us, and they had all the music ready for the night. Then we'll also listen to a short message as well, and then we have a pizza dinner, and then we watch an episode of The Chosen, and I really love that show. I think you guys would too. So come on out if you're interested in that. And afterwards, we also had some ice cream too. So I mean, you know, so we could get some vegan ice cream also. All right, and that's all I have for you tonight. Does anybody have any questions, last minute questions here before we wrap it up? We get to try our samples. We've got peanut butter cookies tonight, but I also made some peanut butter, power balls. Yes, peanut butter chocolate power balls as well. So if you're here, you really get a treat today. And if you're not here, please come next time. I'd love to have enough for you as well. So just RSVP and let me know. All right. So are we good online? Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for coming. And I will see you in our next series. I'm hoping to have it sometime around August, but if you want to know the exact dates, be sure to put your information in on the sign-up sheet. All right, and I will be sure to get back to you with with the solid dates when I get them. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to close with a quick prayer here. All right. So if you'll bow your heads with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to have this whole series here. Thank you for all of the wonderful things that you've provided for us to